Chapter 5. My Dad. If someone asked me how my relationship was with my mom, I would say great. We had a wonderful relationship. In all honesty, my mom was my greatest friend. If someone asked me about my relationship with my dad, I would not have said much other than shrugging my shoulders. My dad lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan. My mom used to call him up so he would spend time with me. He would oblige, come by, and take me out because of that. I remember a time he took me out to lunch and I ordered a Shirley Temple to drink. It tasted so good. The base of the drink was 7-Up with red stuff called grenadine at the bottom of the glass. A little umbrella sat on the edge of the glass. A maraschino cherry was in the glass. I loved that. I loved going to the park with him or going out for ice cream. As I grew older, I perceived what was really going on. I would notice all the times my dad came to visit me were after my mom had called him. The only thing causing him to come was not his love and adoration for me, but obligation. So I began to not want my dad to visit me. When my mom would ask me to call him, I would call him, but I really did not want to talk to him. I believed that if he knew where I was, if he wanted to talk to me, he would call. The problem was I was making all the calls, putting in all the effort. I thought, why doesn't he call me? I'm a kid. Why should I be calling him? He does not care about me. I had a stepfather, and as I previously stated, after my mom remarried when I was 5 years old. However, at the time of their marriage, I struggled trying to find what to call him. My mom decided that I would not call him by his first name because that would be disrespectful. She then thought about me calling him Dad. She thought long and hard about it and then called me to the living room one day. My stepfather was there too. My mom did all the speaking. She said, I do not want you to call him Dad because you already have one of those. I want you to call him Father. I could not fathom that. I wonder if I looked taken aback or shocked at that moment. For some reason, it made me feel extremely uncomfortable. Therefore, I never called him anything. I would refer to him as my stepfather when talking about him as someone else. When I was just talking to him, I would go to where he was and begin talking. I never had a real connection with him. I wanted one. I wanted him to be my dad, to love me like a dad should. But through that meeting, I knew that would never happen. My mom and her new husband had drawn a line of separation when they told me what I should call him. And when it came to discipline, my mom disciplined me. My stepfather was not allowed to discipline me whatsoever. If I was grounded, my mom would ground me. If I was whipped, it was by my mom. He was simply a man that lived in my house, my mom's husband, who went to church with us and was a treasurer at the church. Although I had no connection with my stepfather, there were many ways I got to know him. One of these ways was by stealing money from my stepfather's pockets to go to Mr. Foster's. Soon enough, I would find other items in his pockets like condoms. It was so gross, and finding them was not restricted to his pockets. He lost his keys all the time. One time my mom asked me to look around to help him find them. I looked in his coat pocket and what was there? Keys? No, condoms. I would look in the car under the seat and in the glove box and what was there? Condoms. Everywhere I looked, I found condoms. I formed the opinion that he was a dirty old man. This opinion shaped all my experiences with him from that point forward. I remember going to ask my stepfather a question from my mom, and I had grape flavored chapstick on my lips. As I was talking to him, he said, "Have you been drinking grape Kool-Aid?" I said, "No." He said, "Your breath smells really good." I backed up a little and my nose cringed. He did not see my reaction because he was looking at his computer. His comment scared me, and from then on made me not want to be around him. Chapter 6. Another opinion formed. When I was 9 years old, my mom was pregnant with my younger sister. My stepfather worked for the state of Michigan as an auditor, and his hours were 9 to 5. He worked in Detroit, Michigan, which was a 45-minute drive away from the house. However, on this day, the day my mom's water broke, he did not come home until 1 o'clock in the morning. At that time, I was staying at the next door neighbor's house, my ex-best friend who hated me still, and her family. I remember the moment when my mom's water broke. My mom, my older sister, and I were in our house. We were sitting around the kitchen table. When my mom stood up to get something, all this water came splashing down on the tile floor and formed a pool between her feet. It ran off underneath the chair I was sitting in. My mom attempted to call my stepfather. When she could not reach him, she played with the idea of my sister driving her to the hospital, but my sister did not have her driver's license yet. Instead, my mom sent my sister next door to have our other neighbor, Mr. K, take her to the hospital. My mom did not want me to come along, so my mom sent me to stay at the neighbor's house. I stayed up all night looking out my ex-best friend's window. From her window, I could see the driveway to my house. I watched my stepfather pull into the driveway, read the note posted on the door, and leave. I knew then that he was cheating on my mom. I became angry and formed yet another opinion concerning men. Children perceive more than their parents believe they do.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. You asked the questions, Anna White answered them. Forgiven, dispelling the lies, coming soon.